This cap does not fit my head. You all may be seated. Welcome, everybody, to the graduation ceremony for the class of the 2018. Thank you to all who have come from near and far to celebrate this incredibly special night with us. Whether you are a teacher, coach, parent, sibling, grandparent, or close family or friend, I'm sure I'm able to speak on behalf of all of the students seated behind me and say thank you. Actually, to everyone in the audience who has helped you get here, let's make some noise. Come on, guys, get loud. Great job, guys. Last time I heard something that loud, it must have been the mariachi band walking through the first floor of the science building. Sorry, Miss Pierman. Now that we have given our thanks as a class to our loved ones, it is now our turn. Our turn to be recognized for everything we have done as individuals as well as a family. We have all traveled on our own independent journeys in order to reach the final destination, the obtainment of our high school diploma. Tonight, May 18th, I'm not wearing a watch, May 18th, 2018. The night where all of the grueling hard work that we put in during our high school careers is transfigured into an 8.5 by 11-inch paper. 50 essays written in my high school career here, each of them over 5 pages in length, and all I need to signify my graduation is 1 sheet of paper. Environmental Club, please look into that. And couldn't this just have been shared with us on Google Drive? It would have been much more convenient. Anyways, all jokes aside, this diploma is what will allow us to call ourselves Benjamin grads for the rest of our lives. The Benjamin Schools class of 2018. Throughout your 4 years here, wearing the orange and blue, Benjamin truly becomes a part of you. Now, I think Mr. Didsbury tweeted that one time, but don't quote me on it. It also may be a Mr. Fike lyric. Not sure where I saw it. Well, whoever said it is entirely correct. All of the past experiences that we have seen and been a part of here are now memories. But just because we are departing this fine institution does not require us to wipe these memories out of our minds. Who could forget the first day of freshman year when the senior class hurled 1 trillion bouncy balls at us as we sat there meek and frightened? Or your first C on a test, or your second C on a test, or your third C on a test. Or when you finally realized that AP Human Geography is not a class for a young freshman like yourself. Sophomore year, when our male cheer squad during homecoming week had a modest but mighty 3 boys. I personally wouldn't rather dance in front of the entire school in nothing but a tie-dye shirt, boxers, and white leggings with anybody else, so thanks guys, you know who you are. I know Jen mentioned this last week during her speech, but I thought putting the image back in everybody's minds would just, reinforce the awkwardness. Junior year comes around, and we get hit with a hurricane of college counseling material, ACT practice tests, SAT questions, basically everything besides an actual hurricane. Yeah, Hurricane Matthew, remember him? I think a branch fell off one of the trees outside my house, maybe. Senior year begins, it's our first day of school, and we almost get everyone to coordinate their shirt color. Almost. We won homecoming for the first time in our 4 years here. Finally, we began getting swamped with college applications, fees left and right, clicking submit, and praying that we at least got into our safety school. But at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, we made it, right? We're here, on this stage, and we are only minutes away from acquiring our high school diploma. You're all just waiting on me to finish, right? Well, let's get this show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2018. Thank you.
Whoa, folks. You look like a wild bunch out there. I'm getting excited. I really don't know which side of the stage is, in fact, more excited, the group behind me or the group in front of me. I think you both have real good reasons to be ecstatic. I know there's a lot of appreciation going both ways this evening, from parents and grandparents and siblings and aunts and uncles to the group behind me and the group behind me to all of you. This is a time to really be, in fact, as ecstatic as the graduates when we think in terms of how appreciative we should be for the experiences they've had. You know, I thought about, for some reason, I thought about this graduation for a long time, and I was reading and I was Googling, and I was honestly and truly not coming up with very much that I thought was inspiring. And I don't know if this is just me and my age, or if it's actually happening to me. I certainly don't want to offend anybody by saying it, but it seems that things of a more spiritual nature are happening to me as I'm growing older. So I was pondering and reading and not coming up with much and being frustrated, and almost like a slowly moving spaceship. And this is the truth. I don't want anyone to leave at this point. But almost like a slowly moving spaceship, an email descended just right onto my laptop, right onto my lap, that spoke to me about this evening. And the gentleman who wrote me the email is actually here this evening, and I warned him that I was going to use his remarks in a very special way. He was very happy to know, very relieved to know that I wouldn't be mentioning his name. And so you'll hear a pseudonym. You'll hear another name when I get to that part of my remarks. But his email reminded me of something that is dear to me in terms of knowledge, something that is dear to me in terms of what I've learned through teaching and what I've read and whom I've listened to and the conferences I've gone to. And a lot of the folks, not behind me, but directly in front of me, my peers, the faculty, have learned a lot, and even in the years that I've been here, in the 10 years I've been here, excuse me, have learned a lot along with me on brain research. And what brain research tells us. It always seems like research in any capacity is important, but it's not going to be really exciting, and it's not going to be teaching us too much that we're going to hold on to. But there is something about brain research that is fascinating and that can really help a human being move along in life. And that is the significant difference between the right brain and the left brain of our brains, of human brains, and what it is connecting to one versus another can do for you in your success, and in the success specifically of a conversation that you're having with somebody else. So there is proof, there are studies, there are all sorts of medical studies, of scans, of brain scans that show that you cannot be, a human being cannot be both angry and depreciative at the same time, which is really fascinating when you think of the other beings we inhabit the earth with, you know, our animal friends. We are unique in that we cannot muster anger and we cannot muster appreciation at the same time. So if you have a teacher and you're not doing well, but you're not trying to do really well, and you're not studying, you're not paying attention, you're not cooperating, but you are blaming your teacher for all that you haven't done, you're in an angry mode. You're pretty angry. However, if you are cooperating, if you are appreciating, if you are finding words of gratitude, then you're going to find yourself to be extremely peaceful and extremely happy that is the way you chose to communicate with your teacher over your performance. There's not a living soul in this room who, if he or she thought about it, wouldn't realize that when you are displeased and when you are not gratified and when you are not appreciating, you are a very angry individual. When, on the other hand, something strikes your heart and you feel an abundance of appreciation for something that someone has done for you, you are in the best possible human condition that you could be in. So I just start with some of those things. Believe it or not, I had a lot written down, not trusting my memory. But I feel so strongly about what we've learned as teachers mostly about brain research in the right and left brain that I feel very comfortable speaking about it without my notes. When you engage your right brain, you're engaging your humanity, the best part of who you are. When you're engaging your left brain, you're still a good person, but you're engaging formulas and numbers and science and data. And how do you get to be understood when you're talking about science and math and data and formulas? Well, you get to be embraced and understood best when you choose to engage your right brain while you're explaining these very left brain functions. So I'm going to say again, because I think it's really important, that the human spirit is incapable, and we've learned this from a dozen years or so of science research, of being angry and appreciative at the same time. I find that to be fascinating. So I'm sitting around frustrated, thinking of these terrific kids. By the way, maybe by a round of applause, only if you believe this. Are you aware that this has been an extraordinary class, this class of 2018? We came to know this class as they were receiving their accolades from people other than the school, from colleges, universities, from membership in cum laude society by matching the criteria that's necessary to become a member of the cum laude society, by the colleges and universities who were scrambling over our students. The colleges, numbering 28 just for the senior class alone, who came knocking at our door to put our students on their extremely prestigious college list for playing collegiate sports, watched, observed, evaluated, looked at transcripts, came knocking at our door and said, we need you to be on your school's student-athlete college commitment list under our name. And you're going to see when you start looking at the newspaper, you're going to see when you start looking online, if you're on Twitter, if you're on any of the social, the venues that we use here at school and everybody uses all over the world, the social media venues, you're going to see a class that has really done, I mean, remarkably well at a school that does remarkably well. So that's not very easy. So let me do this, if I may. I'm going to read you something that came plopping down from the sky that I thought was amazing in terms of inspiring me to write about the point whereby the human being is so capable of being successful by employing one side of his brain, the emotional, the affective side of his brain, and being caring and considerate and appreciative and full of gratitude, versus beginning a conversation, beginning a communication that is absolutely likely to be something that ends in a fight, that ends in something that's negative, and that ends in something that's a disagreement. So, this is what comes to me, all right? Hi, Bob. It's John Jones, and it's Sunday. I know you might think I write you too often, but I really try my best not to bother you. However, as the school year prepares to close, I just had to reach out to let you know that although I may not be the brightest bulb in the box, God blessed me with one ability, and that is to feel deeply about things. And I think that's a real blessing. And I just need you to know how much I care about your faculty and respect them. So faculty, I'm reading this to you and for you. Also, how grateful I am on behalf of the Benjamin community for everything all of you do for the school. You know, I think often about the multiplier effect of a quality education, about the fact that each and every year we're sending out hundreds of kids into the greater community who are going to grow up into adults who think clearly and openly, appreciate the opinions of the minority, and hopefully affect change in our lives using their education and their experience to better the world. This is someone who is employing his right brain to communicate to Bob Goldberg at a time when he really needed some inspiration. I know our faculty are the key part of that, and I hope that you all embrace the fact that you are affecting thousands and thousands of lives with that multiplier. Please do not respond, Bob. I just needed to express this level of appreciation for all you do. What other message does an educator need to just come floating down to his lap when he's sitting for weeks pondering something important to say at a Benjamin upper school graduation? So let's think about the impact on a message when we engage the right brain to convey the point. Maybe by applause, if you will, by faculty. I wonder how all of you, our faculty, are thinking right now to have been openly appreciated by this dad. How did that feel? Because we've heard other things. We're all teachers, we're all imperfect, our families can be upset with us, our families can be angry, we can become angry. This is the message that is being given tonight at the 2018 senior graduation from the Benjamin School. To our graduating class, to be a little bit more succinct, you should remember that although it may take just a minute to make someone feel good, that feeling can last a lifetime to the person who hears it. So I know myself, I still think over years and years and years of what someone said to me on the fly, very meaningfully, just very, very quickly and without much thought, what somebody said to me that meant so much that I ponder it today. This is living a humane life. And this is the part of our brain and the part of our humanity that we have to connect with and that we have to engage in a time when the world is living in such a difficult crisis. Now, I want to talk about a favorite of mine for a minute, Mrs. Salivar. As Mrs. Salivar wrote recently to our faculty and staff, quote unquote, wrote to everybody in the upper school, "It was a touching moment at baccalaureate to see the parents open their thank you notes. Hopefully, our students will see the value of gratitude and have a better appreciation for their years at TBS now that they have been through a ceremony like this one." So I don't know where you are. Where are you? Where are you, my friend? Where is Sarah Salivar? She's backstage, working backstage, but listening to what's going on. So thank you for that, Mrs. Salivar, and thank you for understanding and realizing what the human spirit is capable of doing and making of its society. So to the class of 2018, we are depending on you, our friends, to make this a better world. God bless you. I almost forgot, because I can be very imperfect. I had the rare pleasure this year of beginning with a new board chair. Our boards rotate through every 3 years. This is my 10th year on the board, so I'm starting to collect board chairs. Mr. Ari Zur, given the work that he had already done on the board and how he was thought of by so many of his colleagues on the board, was chosen unanimously to take charge of the responsibility of running that particular body, which is very, very important to an independent school. I am the employee of the board, and the board hires and fires the head of school. I need to tell you that I got to work with a gentleman who I say thinks very carefully, who is very, very bright, who thinks through every point that needs to be thought through, who asks extremely good questions, and who brings you to a point where an idea is thoroughly thought through before it's employed. Someone I really admire, and I know he's asked to say a few remarks, and his name is Mr. Ari Zur.
Good evening and welcome. It is truly an honor to be standing up here on such an exciting and important occasion. As I look at this amazing class of graduates, I'm reminded a bit of my own experience 100 years ago. I remember a Dr. Seuss book that was often given as a token graduation gift, Oh, the Places You'll Go. Do people still get physical books these days? They probably get the Kindle edition. But anyway, it was a children's book written in simple, sometimes silly rhymes about the countless possibilities that await you when you step out into the world. As I think about this group of students, our class of 2018, I can't help but marvel about the places you will go in your life, and more specifically, in just a few months. As college acceptances rolled in this year and students chose from a myriad of impressive options, I thought to myself, this is such an accomplished group of young people who have truly made the most of the countless opportunities that the Benjamin School has to offer. And all it takes is a look at the matriculation list to see that the merits and the achievements of our students in this small school, in this relatively small town, are recognized and appreciated on a national and even international level. I have to pause here to acknowledge and thank the people who have done so much for the school and this class of graduates, from our head of school, Mr. Goldberg, to the head of upper school, Mr. Carr, as well as all the dedicated and talented faculty, staff, and administration across all three divisions. They were mentors, teachers, advisors, helping our graduates discover their passions and to believe in their limitless potential. These folks helped ensure that these young people will be ready to venture out into the world, not just excited, but truly prepared to chase their dreams and make a difference. Thank you for all that you do. So, graduates, to quote my good friend Dr. Seuss, congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, and you can steer yourself any direction you choose. So, class of 2018, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I wish you the best of luck as you embark on the adventures ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Zur. You know, just hearkening back for a minute to my remarks, there was a book written in 2006 which sparked a revolution in thinking. And it was a book written by a psychologist who wrote many more after that and spurred on many authors to write, psychologists and brain researchers to write more and more books beyond that. But the gentleman I'm speaking about is Daniel Pink, and he wrote a book called A Whole New Mind, Why the Right Brainers Will Rule the Future, which is to say why the kind people, the thoughtful people, the encouraging people will rule the world with technology, with the level of scientific knowledge and technological awareness that we have in the world. We don't need the person at the table to tell us about the formula. That's available to us. We need the person at the table who's able to make it clear and make us feel comfortable about the stages of our learning of that material. That is a right brainer who is going to rule the world. Just so happens that we have two of those very special kinds of people, if they've ever known it or not, as our valedictorian and salutatorian. For those of you who may not know, at graduations, college and high school, administrations, teachers come together numerically, and they decide who is the very top academic student and who is that top academic student who falls just the tiniest bit below. We have two fine people. We have fine young adults, both of whom I know, who are going to make not only their parents proud, but the school proud as we learn more about them as they move along. And all of you who remember their names will be reading about them and reading about the way that they will be changing, in fact, the world, as was my charge to their whole class. I would like to bring up first our salutatorian, who is Ashley Suzanne Sniffen, to speak with you. Congratulations.
Good evening. I have a confession to make. While a few of you know my secret, the vast majority do not. And I thought that since this is my last time to step foot on this campus, now would be the perfect moment for the big reveal, so here we go. I am utterly addicted to college basketball. Shocking, right? My interest peaked in 7th grade when my father turned on the television, and it was a game between Villanova and Butler. And after a few minutes of just watching the basketball game, I thought to myself, this is it for me, because the player with jersey number 15 on Villanova's team was the most aesthetically pleasing person I had yet seen when I was 12 years old. But I have soon realized that what I was witnessing was more than just a simple game of college basketball. I sought to know everything about the game, why everyone in the stands threw up their hands when one player shoved another, why normally overweight men wearing black and white stripes would run back and forth across the court with the players, and why the players themselves kept rotating on and off the floor. My parents patiently taught me the rules of the game about fouls, three-point shots, ejections, rebounds, and layups, and I watched the games contentedly from my living room couch while eating coffee ice cream and yelling at the TV as if they could hear me. I began to discard my 7th grade English assignments for Dr. James in favor of scouring ESPN for news, rankings, possible seedings, and anything about the upcoming NCAA tournament. And instead of jotting homework assignments down, I had a purple planner for my homework, and every single thing was filled with opponents, location, projected wins, just taking up the majority of the space. Homework was not important at that point. 5 years later, I can't say much has changed, except I've had the opportunity to fangirl with my favorite team in person on a few occasions, as well as rejoice in wins and commiserate over losses with fellow basketball fans Will Ziff and Mr. Hars. Looking back, I realize now why I became hooked on the game, especially Villanova's game. Villanova players demonstrate to me the significance of playing on one's own terms. Throughout the years, the players fought not to be in the spotlight, but rather to improve themselves, both on and off the court. Each one possesses the fortitude and attitude required to achieve success. About this type of play, the coach of the team, Jay Wright, once said, "It is about your commitment to the next opportunity you have in life, learning from your mistakes and then taking on the next day in your life with a positive approach." So, my years as a spectator, 5 years later, have taught me some valuable lessons, which I now live by, and I would like to share the following observations. 1, your ranking does not determine your future success. This was clearly shown in this year's NCAA tournament when number 1 seeded UVA lost to number 16 seed University of Maryland, Baltimore County. It is drive, perseverance, and resilience which carries us forward in life and enables us to achieve great things. Before the start of this season, the boys varsity baseball team was unranked, but their recent win against American Heritage has demonstrated that your seeding, legacy, and last name do not define you, but rather what you choose to do to improve yourself in each and every moment. 2. 2, the refs can make bad calls, as shown in the Charleston versus Auburn game. Unfavorable calls add to the stress of the game, but the best players are able to accept the call and forge ahead. Remember, self-worth stems from self-awareness and is not defined by a referee, a peer, a teacher, an administrator, or an institution, or ESPN for that matter. Number 3, do not give up playing before the final buzzer sounds, as was the case with FSU coach Hamilton with 2 minutes left in the Elite Eight against Michigan. I'm still really mad about that. When the game gets overwhelmingly challenging, step up. Remember, your performance is determined by you. Number 4, it is the journey that counts. Fresh off the Ivy League champion win, my future alma mater, UPenn, another 16 seed, was matched up against number 1 seed Kansas, and despite their loss, savored every minute of the experience. To reiterate, middle school teacher Mr. Molnix, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Take the shots. Every opportunity is an adventure, a chance to excel, regardless of the outcome. The students on this stage comprise a team of scholars, athletes, poets, scientists, actors, musicians, and so much more. With hope and determination and a prayer from Loyola Chicago's Sister Jean when it hurt, we move forward. A Pulitzer Prize winner, Surgeon General, or the first female president of the United States may be sitting next to me tonight. Even though we attended the same school together each day, our individual talents and interests have launched us down different courts. Wherever your court takes you, take your best shot for happiness, love, and success. Although this game is over, the next one is about to begin. As we prepare the payoffs to our college admissions draft, whether you were a first rounder or a late signed undrafted free agent, I encourage all of you to be defined by your own game, to embrace new ideas, to discover new passions, and to play fearlessly, each day better than you did the previous. Congratulations to the class of 2018. Thank you.
Ashley, thank you. No doubt as to why Ashley spoke to us this evening from that very high perch of Salutatorian. We've got a young man whose name I like to pronounce in Spanish, so forgive me if that's an embarrassment. Next we have Roberto Daniel Lama. Otherwise, thank you. Those of us who've been at the school for some time have been watching this young man grow through one experience to another, becoming more and more charming, but at the same time becoming more and more educated, more and more thorough in his knowledge, more and more specific in the kinds of ways that he discerns and dissects. So it's always been a pleasure for me to watch Mr. Lama grow. He has reached this point where we're calling him to the podium to speak to us in the words of a true valedictorian.
Thank you, Mr. Goldberg, and thank you, Ashley. Eloquent as always. Good evening, everyone. Tonight is the end of the first part of our lives, the end of high school, the end of our time together as the unified class of 2018. First of all, let's say thanks to our parents. Let's say thanks to the loved ones here supporting us on this special night. Let's say thanks to the ones who believed in us when we didn't believe in ourselves. As many of you might know, one of my favorite pastimes is the game of chess. The basic premise of the game is to use your pieces, 8 pawns, 2 bishops, 2 knights, 2 rooks, 1 queen, and a king, to checkmate the opposing side's king. Playing chess is quite complicated. Certain pieces move in certain directions, and certain rules apply that occasionally pop up out of nowhere. Its origins can be traced almost 1,500 years back to India, according to Wikipedia, the only source I really used in high school. Medieval kings and queens used this game to learn important lessons, and chess was one of the 7 skills a good knight had to acquire. Some of my earliest and fondest memories are playing con mi abuelo and my 2 brothers sprawled out all over the floor, strategizing, winning, and losing until it was way past my bedtime. In case you were wondering, the answer is yes, chess nights were lit. We were addicted to the game, addicted to its constant twists and turns, addicted to the joy of defeating one's opponent. Basically the original Fortnite. Chess is unlike any other game, but is like everything we know. As Mr. Fike has said an infinite number of times, it's a metaphor. I'm no king or sword-wielding knight, but I wanted to share with you all what I have learned from this timeless game. Chess is commonly divided into 3 parts: the opening, middle, and end game. As we sit here tonight, we have finally completed our basic education, lower, middle, and now finally upper school. We have finished the opening and now are starting, or rather commencing, the middle game. After the first move in chess, there are 197,742 different possible endgames. And after the third move, that number increases to 121 million different possible endgames. 20th century mathematician Claude Shannon estimated that the total number of possible chess games is around 10 to the power of 120, a zero with 120 zeros after it, or one after, with 120 zeros after it. To put that into comparison, the total population of humans on Earth is around 7 billion, 7 with 9 zeros after it. The estimated total number of atoms in the observable universe is 10 to the power of 80, a 1 with 80 zeros behind it. What I'm trying to say is that if life is like chess, there are practically an infinite number of ways your life could end up. But you are the one that decides. Here at Benjamin, we have all just played our first move. The door of endless possibilities is right in front of us, and all we need to do is step through. There isn't anyone who controls your pieces but you. You choose what you want to be. You choose what you want to do. You choose your next step in life. You can follow someone's footsteps or blaze your own path. Don't let other people tell you how to live your life, because most of them are still trying to learn how to live theirs. You be you. In chess, there is strategy required to win the game. You can play without a plan, but you'll probably lose. There will be times where you can just wing it and it'll work out for you, which is exactly what I said to myself right before failing Dr. Perugia's first essay. I'm not suggesting you have a step-by-step booklet to get you through life, but have dreams, have goals, have ambitions. Without aspiration, there is no initiation. Don't sit on your laurels waiting for things to happen to you. In chess, the only advantages you have are the ones you create on the board. For many of us, our lives are already one step ahead of everyone else, because we have the advantage of learning about powerful books, our parents' checkbooks. But if you're in a bad situation, work to make it good. If you're in a good situation, work to make it even better. When we were struggling in Dr. Haley's chemistry class, we didn't get any better by pouting and complaining. Instead, we asked ourselves, "Self, how much more effort do I need to put in to get the results I want?" The question shouldn't be, are you willing to sacrifice some pieces in order to work to your ultimate goal? But rather, how much are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice time hanging out with your friends and family in order to work towards your dreams? Are you willing to sacrifice material goods in order to save for things you really need? Are you willing to sacrifice sleep to put in that extra hour of grind time to get what you want? Which ironically for a lot of us is sleep. There are always going to be people who want the same things as you, so you have to work twice as hard to go get them. Good things come to those who wait, but only things left by those who hustle. Chess would be easy if the other player didn't move. You have to anticipate others' actions. Sometimes we get so caught up in what we're doing and what we're concerned about that we forget that there are others around us. Pay attention to those around you. If your parents aren't in a good mood, maybe, just maybe, it is not the best time to ask for new pairs of sneakers. You have to be able to modify your plan according to what others do. If you're already late to class because of the line at Dunkin' Donuts, why not spend a few more minutes buying the entire class munchkins? Pay attention to those around you. Chess is a competitive game in which only one person can be the winner. But in life, the definition of the winner is not so black and white. There will be those who try to make you lose, but there will also be those who try to make you win, those that will support you no matter what. Surround yourselves with people that will play with you, not against you. Lastly, losing is not the same as failing. Since I started playing on chess.com, out of the 1,184 matches that I have played, I have lost an astounding 553 of them, almost half. Now I know what you're all thinking. No wonder why Roberto doesn't have a social life. He's playing chess all day. Losing is not the same as failing. There are 3 different ways of losing in chess: a checkmate, a loss on time, and a resignation. On the chessboard, these 3 are equivalent, but in life, resigning is the only true way to fail. To quote fictional boxing legend Rocky Balboa, "The world ain't all sunshines and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there if you permanently let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. Everyone's life is a game of chess. You versus yourself. Not you versus your rival, not you versus your boss, not you versus anyone. It's you versus yourself. Life will try to take your pieces, steal your queen, and kill your king. Life will use fear, stress, and anxiety to make you lose your self-confidence, lose your self-belief, lose your will to keep trying. Perseverance and trust in your own abilities is the only way that you will be able to get through the day and move on to the next. Struggling is the only way to learn from your mistakes. Look at Abraham Lincoln, arguably the greatest president in American history, according to Dr. Harper. His mother died when he was 9. His first love died when he was 22. He lost his job several times, never could go to law school, lost in the running for state legislature, ran for Congress and lost, ran for Congress again and won, only to be defeated in re-elections, ran for Senate and lost. Lincoln lost and lost and lost, but he never failed. Every time he lost, he accepted his loss gracefully and with honor, utilizing every opportunity, making him better prepared for his role as future president. Nobody is born perfect. Nobody can achieve perfection, but all of us can strive for it. Benjamin is far from a perfect institution, as no such thing as a perfect institution exists. But its imperfections serve us as little reminders of the struggles and successes of the countless many who have come before us during their own journeys, becoming second to none. Our now is their dream. I'm glad I've spent the last 10 years here, adding to their legacy by making memories with all of you. I feel honored to have been sharing one of my passions with everyone here tonight, and thank you to all of those who have had to travel to be here. Be the master of your own chess game. Congratulations, class of 2018, it's your move.
Good evening. It's always humbling to follow thinkers of that magnitude, and knowing just having been here for 2 years, the number of other thinkers about at that magnitude. It's been I'm always so pleased that I think we are, as Mr. Goldberg talked about, the multiplier effect. We're in great shape moving forward. Thank you for those speeches. Were spectacular, really were. Thank you. So good evening. It's great to be here. It's great to see you. Thank you all guests and trustees. Mr. Zur, thank you for being here. And most particularly the class of 2018. I'm honored to be with you this evening as we celebrate the Benjamin School's 40th commencement. The final individual awards that we present each year prior to the presentation of diplomas are the 2 Founders' Cups. Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin had a particular vision when they founded our school 58 years ago. Central to that vision was the hope that students who attended the school would grow, both in wisdom and in character. Each year, the faculty of the upper school selects 1 senior boy and 1 senior girl as recipients of the Founders' Cups. The students selected for this honor are recognized by the faculty as students who exemplify the very best of what it means to be a member of the Benjamin School community. I am honored to present, on behalf of the faculty, this year's honorees, 2 students who have, over the course of their time here, truly lived the ideals that Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin envisioned when they first started the school. The winner of the Marshall Benjamin Founders Cup Award this year is Roberto Lama. And the winner of the Nancy Benjamin Founders Cup Award this year is Katie Blaine. Well done, and congratulations to both of our Founders Cup recipients. So at this point, we are going to proceed to the awarding of diplomas, and that is the cue for Mr. Goldberg and Mr. Zuer to make their way across stage.
Thank you. I was just going to grab that.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Row one. Roberto Daniel Lama. That's the only one. You ready, Ashley? Ashley Suzanne Sniffen. Martin Ruben Weiss. Varun Hariharan. Thank you, Justin. Gavin Michael Anderson. Christopher Robert Armstrong. Kay Kendall Baker. Alessandra Teresa Baldari. Jennifer Louise Barr. Katie Logan Blaine. John Xavier Bowen. Sydney Ray Burnett. Scott Michael Burstein. Steele Robert Carlson. Seamus Patrick Coffey Gallagher. Kara Ann Konstantikos. Zachary Alexios Kochanakis. Roderick Philip Crawford III. Joanna Elena Delgado. Adam Denbacker. Ethan Gabriel Denenberg. Sophia Mary DeRosa. Mason Carl Domino. Eric Santiago Donato. Brandon William Donner. Tyler Scott Daunton. Jessica Clark Dretman. Sean Daryush Farahani. Sabrina Madison Fonda. Robert Wellington McLaren Forney. Samantha Emily Freed. Yuan Gao. Stephen Anthony Gardner. Griffin Stewart Garvey. Natalie Beth Gaudet. Logan Ray Gelberd. Nathan O'Neill Gordon, Jr. Kaylee Nicole Graziato. Connor Joseph Green. Olivia Jane Gruner. Kendall Wallace Harrow. Robert Alexander Hemis III. They won the award for getting up, but boy. All right, show them what you got, row 3. Sophie Kelton Hoffman. Susan Boyd Hollenbeck. Nina Renee Houry. Rockwell Henry Martin Howley. Choman Lisa Huang. Lily Catherine Jazeranak. Sarah Rose Kahn. Matthew Ryan Caneb. Alexandra Julianne Katz. Kylie Lane Kempe. Jenna Rose Key. Shane Adeline Kipple. Reese Nicole Klein. Paul Stevens Lanos. Alexander Abraham Lappin. Lauren Alexis Lindahl. Jingyi Clary Ling. Matthew Alexander Lopes. Claire Alexandra Lord. Joshua Kane Lucas. Jamie Elizabeth Lynch. Margaret Tracy Mann. Alexa Rose McAvoy. Nice, that's pretty good. Jack Pulitzer McCluskey. Abigail Stewart Mendelson. Isabel Ann Michelin. Good. Colton John David Moyer. Jessica Avery Morgan. Cameron Tyler Murphy. Stephen Charles Nicholas II. William Michael Nicholas. Nicholas Alexander Nielsen. Emma Elizabeth O'Hare. Lindsay Bell Oster. Charlie Ann Parker. Charles Eastwood Peckham. Fabian Gustavo Perez. Ryan Charles Postman. Demaya Arian Preston. Emily Louise Prim. Emily Kate Reback. Mark Edward Reese. Margaret Elizabeth Regneri. Anthony Warren Rooney. Carolyn Delahousse Rose. Acadia Coy Rubin. Reagan Claire Russell. Hasua Andres Samuel. Thatcher Anton Seiss. Roya Lynn Shirzad. Kiera Arian Slack. Sarah Maxine Stamp. Aaron Michael Steinhardt. Alyssa Rose Suarez. Nicholas Kenneth Garrett Taplett. Isaiah St. Clair Thomas. Jordan Anthony Travis. Amanda Christina Viola. Kent Air Waxman. Jackson Dean Wiener. Isaac Joshua Wiggins. Anise Danae Williams. Maureen Caroline Wolf. Guillermo Federico Wolf Rodriguez. Sika Coco Yue. Colton Christopher Zecca. William Nicholas Ziff. And I will hand the podium to Mr. Goldberg.
So I wonder what this part is all about. How are your tassels doing? You'll move them as I begin speaking again, okay? In the power vested in me by the Benjamin School Board of Trustees, I now pronounce you alumni of the class of 2018.